Hi everyone, how are you all? I hope you are good. So, today we are back with another question, which is check if two string arrays are equivalent. So, let's see what is this question saying. We are given with two string arrays, word1 and word2, and return true if the two arrays represent the same string and false otherwise. So here we are given with two arrays word1 and word2 and they contains strings and we need to return true if the arrays represent the same string and false otherwise. A string is represented by an array if the elements concatenated in order forms the string. So let's see what is this saying. Here we are given with word1 array which contains two strings that is AB and C. And when we will concatenate all these strings, then it will form ABC. Okay. Similarly, word we are given with word2 array which have strings A and BC. And when we will concatenate all these strings, then it will form ABC. So we need to return true if after concatenating all the strings of word 1 and all the strings of word 2, if they are same, then we will return true. Otherwise, we need to return false. So here we can simply run a loop from I is equals to 0 to I is less than word 1 dot size, and we will simply concatenate all these strings and store in another strings and store in another string and then compare those strings whether they are equal or not. But it will not be a good idea because the disadvantage of this idea is that we are storing all the strings in our string variable. It means we are using the O of n space for storing the n length string because whether they are equal or not, we are not considering it. We will just concatenate all these strings and then store in our string variable. So it will take a space. So to optimize it, we can do that something like we will check for every character whether it is equal to this character or not, whether it is b is equal to second character or not. So whenever we get that the characters are not equal, then here only where we will return false. Otherwise, we will keep checking for the next character. Let's see what I am saying. Like we are given with two arrays word1 and word2 which have these strings. So we will take two variables I and j to keep the track of word1 and word2 range. Here I is equals to 0 signifies that we are at this index. Let's say this is index 0 and this is index 1. Okay. So here I equals to 0 signifies that we are at this string. And m is equals to 0 signifies that it is pointing to the first character of ith string. And n is equals to 0 signifies that it is pointing to the first character of the jth string. So now we will check for the characters m and n. If these are equal, then we will simply increment m and n. So let's say I increment m to 1 and n to 1. So now here we need to check for their boundaries. Like here n equals to 1 exists. Yeah, here it is b. But when we will increment n to 1 for j equals to 0, then it will go out of 1 because there is no second character in this string. So whenever we need to check the condition n is less than word to j dot size. Whenever this condition becomes false, in this case 1 is not less than 1, so whenever this condition becomes false, we will simply increment our j. It means now we are at this string and we will initialize our n to 0. It means now we are checking for the first character of the jth string. Now these will match. B is equals to B. Yeah, true. Now again we will increment our n to 2 and n to 1. Now here we need to check again. M is less than word 1 dot size? No, it is word 1 dot size is 2 and M is already 2. So we will simply increment our I variable and initialize our M variable with 0. Okay, now we will check for this. N is less than word to j dot size. Yeah, word to j dot size is 2 and 1 is less than 2. Okay, so we will just simply, no, yeah, we have already increment. Okay, so now we will check for this one. Here n equals to 1, it means it is pointing to the C, and m equals to 0. It means it is pointing to the 0th character of the ith string. Now C is equals to C, yeah. So we will increment our m and we will simply increment our n. Now m is less than word 1 I dot size? No. So we will increment our I and n is less than word to j dot size? No. So we will simply increment our j. Yeah. Now here you can see that I is equals to 2, which is equals to the word 1 dot size, and j is also equals to 2, which is equal to the word 2 dot size. It means we have already iterated our whole array and checked for all the strings in these arrays, and if we didn't get any character which is not equal, so we will finally return true. Okay, I hope you get this intuition for comparing these characters one by one rather than storing the whole concatenated string in another string. Let's see how we can code this. So for this, we can simply initialize our I equals to 0, j equals to 0, n equals to 0, and m equals to 0. So we will iterate the whole array. So let's say we need to check it till I is less than word 1 dot size and j is less than word 2 dot size. Okay. If word 1 of ith of m is not equals to word 2 of j, n. Okay. Uh, yeah. Then we will simply return false. If it is not so, then we will simply increment our m and n. Now we will check for m and n if they are less than the length of the strings or not. If m is greater than or equals to word 1 I dot 10, then what we were doing, we were simply incrementing our I and initializing the m with 0. Okay. Oh, sorry, I have done something wrong. Yeah, m is greater than or equals to word 1 I dot 1. And now we will similarly check for n. If it is greater than or equals to word 2j dot then we will simply increment our j and initialize n with 0. And at last, if we are at the end of both the arrays, only then we will return true. Return I equals to word 1 dot size and then j equals to word dot 2. Because if it contains two strings only and if it contains three strings, so it might be the condition that only one condition is false and then we came out of this loop. then it can also be the case that the strings are not matched because we do not reach the end of both the arrays. So we will return true only if we reach to the ends of both the arrays. It means we didn't get any character which is not equal. It means we get all the characters which are equal, and hence both the strings are same. So let's try run this. Let's try submitting this. Yeah. So now talking about its time and space complexities, as you can clearly see. So here we are running only one loop, which is take the length of this. So we can say that this loop will run to the length of minimum of n comma n, because whenever any of the I or j goes out of bound, then this loop will break. So our time complexity will be O of minimum of n comma m, and our space complexity will be O of 1, as we are not using any extra space here rather than these constant variables. So I hope you get this question. This was a very easy question. We optimize it in terms of space, because if you just concatenate all these strings and just store it in another string, then it is just a very easy task. But doing it with this approach is something different. So I hope you get this question. Bye bye, guys. See you soon with the next question.